Hi everyone, welcome to Living on Cruise Control. I'm Laura and I'm here with my nephew Tyler, who has joined me on the last 11 days of our journey in the Mediterranean. He joined in Barcelona. We are on our way this morning to Crete. Yes, I did wake him up at 5 a.m. to make sure we could get some good morning light and take you guys into Greece this morning. So super excited to introduce my nephew and tell him and have him tell you more about his journey as a first-time cruiser. So Ty, let's start with tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
I am here on my own free will. I'm Ty. I'm Laura's nephew. This is one of my first cruises in a very long time. I think the last time I was on a cruise, I was 16, and it was in the Hawaiian Islands. So it's definitely been a while since I've been on a cruise ship. But yeah, like Laura said, we've been on an 11-day through the Mediterranean.
Ty, tell us, what is your first impressions of Princess cruising? First impressions, when you first got on the boat, what were your thoughts?
There's a lot of people. It's a big boat. And I got turned around quite a bit. I kept thinking I was going the right direction and found out I was not. So it took me a minute to figure out the boat, but once I did, it was pretty easy to get around.
Great. And now we're on day 9, so we still have Crete and Mykonos, Greece to visit, which I think are going to be two of the best ports on this particular sailing. What has been your first impressions of the ports that we've stopped at in Europe? Can you tell everyone where we went and what your thoughts were?
Yeah, well, I was a lot of travel delays coming into Barcelona, so I was really hoping to spend some time in Barcelona, and unfortunately, just with my travel delays, it didn't work out. The next stop we had was Marseille, France. We stopped on a Sunday. Seemed like everything was kind of closed. That day we decided to just get off the ship and walk from the port and walk around. I'm going to be honest with you, I thought Marseille was pretty dirty and dingy. Nothing too special in my eyes. I think if you do get off at that port, definitely look at doing one of the excursions like the Notre Dame or some of the other things they offer, because the port itself, yes, it's walkable. There were some shops, and we did stumble across a mall. I think we put in over about 20,000 steps that day, so make sure you put on your walking shoes. But in my experience, it was kind of dirty and dingy. Next stop, we stopped in Genoa. I thought that was a beautiful port to pull into. Also, kind of getting off the port is walkable. I know a lot of people went to the aquarium, which is not too far. I decided just to kind of stroll off on my own and go a little deeper into town. Once you kind of got out of the port, about 15-20 minute walk, you're able to find like the town square, the Piazza de Fiera as they call it, the fountains. Very cool area. It's a little hilly and rocky, so make sure to wear some good walking shoes. I thought it was really, really beautiful. Just a lot of old buildings, little shops. But again, it seems like a lot of things don't open until later in the day. So about 11:30, a little bit more shops and restaurants started to open up. Had a great sandwich there. Basil and salami is what they're known for, so if you get an opportunity, have a basil and salami sandwich. Then we headed to Naples. And Naples, we were actually supposed to have an excursion, and our tour guide never showed up. So luckily, one of the other tour guides at the front of the port gave us a suggestion: a hydro ferry and take it over to the island of Capri. Capri by far was the most beautiful island I have seen so far. Had a great time there. We just walked around a lot, did some window shopping. There's some high-end shopping there, but there's also reasonable touristy jewelry shops, clothing shops, lemon limoncello is really popular out there, so make sure you get yourself a lemon gelato or a lemon icy, something lemon flavored. It's definitely been hot while we were here. I think I brought the heat with me from Arizona, so it's just been warm. So I suggest wearing light clothing, good walking shoes, and just making sure you stay hydrated.
And in Capri, if I could share, there was a Prada store at the top of the kind of hilly mountain area that was actually closed the entire time we were there. And it turned out that they had closed the store. It was still open though to a private shopping experience for, was it Dua Lipa? What's her name? For this musician that they actually shut the store down, and there were lines of people, and every time we went by to go open the door, it was shut, and we were not able to get in. So I thought that was very interesting. They're also known for their bells. St. Michael has a story about the bells, and we went into this glass store, and I bought some Capri earring, Capri bell, which they're known for. And the bell shops are just so beautiful. As you're walking through, you can hear them. I think it's a great souvenir for Capri. And then we took the funicular down. So there's a couple of options to get up the hill. You can take a shuttle, a bus that costs a couple of dollars to get up the hill, or you can get a taxi. For the two of us, it was 25 euros, but that brought us immediately right to the top, which I think is a quick way to get up. But if you have a little more time or patience, you can take a shuttle, or the funicular also goes up. It's just over $2, €2 to get up, and then taking it down was also very quickly. And then you get on the hydro ferry to go back. It's about a 45-minute ferry ride, a lot quicker than the regular ferry. So I think it's a great way to spend the day. It was beautiful, just people watching, having some coffee. I think we ordered a croissant and a pizza there and shared it for lunch. It was really just such a relaxing day. So what started off as, I think we're being stranded here in the Naples port, turned out to be kind of one of our favorite days, I think. Then where did we go?
She's asking me a lot of questions before I've had my first coffee, so bear with me.
So cheers to your coffee. I'm cutting all of this, so you don't. It doesn't have to be like one take.
We went to
Next stop was
Montenegro.
Montenegro.
We had a sea day.
We had a sea day. His first sea day. So it took 4 ports for a sea day, which is so rare. Usually you embark on the boat and then you have at least 1 sea day, sometimes 2 or 3 to get to your first destination. He came on the boat after traveling, being delayed in Phoenix, not sleeping, waking up early, being delayed again in Paris, being up super early in Barcelona, super crowded with taxis in and out. We didn't even have a chance to go into the city. So basically running on about 8 hours of sleep over, 8 days. And then finally had a sea day, which was so nice. Do you have any recommendations for people on just first-time cruisers, maybe how to spend your sea day?
Yeah, I think, there's so much to do on the boat. And so for me, the first couple of days, even before we got to a sea day, I walked around a lot and kind of got my bearings of the boat. I'm a big proponent of finding a quiet area, especially for, first thing in the morning to have a cup of coffee. The gym is a big thing for me, and on a boat like this with the small gym, it's going to get busy. And so if you can get in there early and get that knocked out, I know I saw a lot of people setting up for their chairs. Thankfully, we are in a cabana mini suite, and so we have some good tanning areas. But there is so much to do. There's live music almost everywhere. They've got games going on everywhere. There's a ton of kids stuff going on. There's multiple pools. There's a 18 and up pool. So there's plenty of areas to catch some sun. That's pretty much all I did on my sea day was found a bench and set up my spot. Got some good sun. Enjoyed a lot of the food. Ate a few hot dogs and called it a day.
That's awesome. And I definitely am working on some videos about our experience in Montenegro. It did not go well at all. We almost got left in Kotor, so I'm going to put together and share a video about that. And then Ty also helped put together a workout program for me on my year of glow up to continue to be healthy, to lose weight, and to make sure that I'm fit as I continue this journey.
Yeah, Bar Montenegro was terrible. It was. We also missed, before going to Bar Montenegro, we went to Rome.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Rome was about a 2-hour bus drive from the port we landed in. We had an incredible tour guide, and I think if it wasn't for him, it would have been a rough tour. But that tour guide was amazing. I mean, he was just like a history book. But with the amount of people that are here traveling for the year of the Jubilee, it was pretty chaotic.
So busy.
A lot of the areas that we would normally be able to get to see were very restricted. But we were able to cram a lot in that 8-hour tour. We got to see the Vatican, Sistine's Chapel. We got to see the Colosseum and all the things in between. It was hot. It was a walking tour. There was about 20 people on our group, so we had to keep moving. You always knew when you were getting a little too far because you get these little walkie-talkies and they get a little static. You get too far, so just make sure you're staying nice and close to the tour guide. But I had a great time there, and everyone talks about when you're traveling, the pickpockets and staying safe, and that was one of my biggest concerns. And so as a guy, I wasn't fully comfortable, wearing a crossbody. To me, I'm like, I don't want a man purse, but I was able to find a great one on Amazon that I've really enjoyed, and it fits well. It's the perfect size, can carry enough things, not feel too heavy. Got it off of Amazon.
It looks tactical to me, like it doesn't look like a man purse, and I'm actually going to put a link in this video as well as on the website, so if you're interested. I think, how much did you pay for it, Ty?
It was less than $20.
Less than $20, and it's nice and wide strap too, so it's not cutting into your neck at all.
Yep, didn't ride up on my neck at all, no chafing.
Kind of blends into your shirt,
like that.
So just a great gift, or
I think
it's really important when you're traveling.
Yeah, the hooks that were on the side, which is one thing I wanted. They're not like a buckle, or just in case somebody did come up from behind and try to take it.
Oh, that's a great idea.
It sits more under your armpit area. So to me, felt super secure, and haven't had any issues with it. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. And so after Rome, we went to Bar Montenegro, and then after Bar Montenegro is today.
Yeah, it's today. So Ty, tell us a little bit. So what are 3 things that you've loved about this cruise so far, and 3 things that you've hated? So let's start with the 3 things that you've loved.
The coffee. All the coffee you can imagine, 24/7. So that's probably been my favorite. The other thing is the staff working in the same sections the same times a day, I think has been fun. You get to know if you sit in the same section or you go to the same coffee shop, you get to see the same staff members, which is always fun for me.
And number 3 things that you've loved?
3
Don't
things.
say donuts.
That was number 1. The food has been great. We've eaten a lot of specialty dining, but just even in the buffet areas, they've been awesome. Have a lot of really good food. Had a couple of really great salads. All you can eat, so pace yourself because it is a lot. But definitely have enjoyed the food and the service. And then obviously the views. Views, we're pulling into some of these ports have just been absolutely gorgeous.
You can just see behind us
right
now.
The one today that we're going into.
Yeah,
there's been a couple that look more like shipyards, and that's okay. But I think just the views and the sunrises and sunsets have been amazing.
Just push back a little bit so they can see. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? Crete's one of my favorite stops by far, and then Mykonos is also beautiful. I know, it's so cool.
All right, 3 things I
hated.
hate. The amount of people.
Wait.
I don't like
That's
going.
the best part.
I don't like going to Costco. So this is
Costco on
on steroids. And so when you're kind of having to bump into people to get into things or through things, that to me is just I'm over it real quick. But with that being said, there are some areas, and this is why it's so important to explore the ship early. There's a lot of dining areas that initially people realize are there. And so if you take some time in the beginning to kind of get to know the ship, you'll find the quiet spots for breakfast. And so we've found quite a few that we like, and that's where we'll stick to. And so even if we don't end up getting the food from there, that's where we'll go to eat. And so just, you can find those spots. I don't like how fast you have to be back on some of these ships.
Port days.
It feels like the port days, they go by so fast. By the time you get off and you get on a bus and you get to the destination, you almost have to turn around and get on the bus to get back. Put me in a hotel on the beach and let me spend my whole day on the beach. Yes, this has been a great way to see a bunch of destinations that I probably normally wouldn't have seen, but it's a little bit of go and follow this itinerary, and that's not really my favorite way to travel.
One more thing that you hated? Having to share such a small room with his aunt, and so we actually set up the room. He moved furniture, moved the beds, moved the couch, actually turned the mattress sideways to split up the beds and move them. So I'll share a quick video of just some ideas of how we set up the room, so that when you're traveling, maybe not as a couple, as family or friends, where you just want a little more space and a little more privacy and separation in such a small quarters. I thought it was pretty ingenious. We each feel like we have our own kind of separate corners, and I think that's made things a lot more comfortable.
That wasn't too bad. I think now that I think about it, there's a very cool app they have. What can be frustrating sometimes is you order something thinking sometimes it shows up within 10 to 15 minutes, and sometimes it can be 45 minutes to an hour and a half. And so,
or it says delivered when it wasn't.
Or it says delivered when it
hit or
wasn't.
miss.
And so I suggest not using the app. It's almost quicker just to go to whatever dining area you need to go to get what you need to get.
Or a little bar, coffee counter, and just get it.
Just get it. Because
yourself.
the app and waiting for it to be delivered, I think that's probably been a frustration a few days, especially when you're out by the cabana.
And it's hot.
By the cabana, it's hot, and you've been waiting for a water or a cocktail or mocktail.
But I do need to say that Ty actually recognized the captain after our Captain Circle event in the hallway heading to the room, and asked him for a quick selfie, and got like a great selfie with the captain, which I thought was pretty awesome, because none of us got selfies with the captain, and then I was able to get in there with Terry as well. So I think that was super cool to be able to actually meet the captain of the boat as a first-time cruiser.
Very friendly.
So how has cruising compared to maybe your preconceived thoughts or expectations of what you thought, an 11-day cruise would be like? How is it compared? Like, what were your initial expectations compared to the reality?
I think I had a pretty good idea of what it would be like, just because of some of your past videos. But I don't think I realized actually how many people were going to be on the boat.
And we're on the Sun Princess, which is over 4,000 passengers, so definitely a larger boat.
Or how big the boat actually is. I think, the more I walk around and the more I get turned around, even on day 10, I think I'm headed in the right direction, and I still get turned around a little bit. Just realizing the size of the boat is probably one of the biggest awe and shock factors.
Anything else that you were maybe expecting that exceeded your expectations or, fell short?
Our stew has been amazing. Shout out to Marvin. I mean, he just...
Marvin, we adore you.
He's on top of it.
Yes.
I think he's in the room 3 times a day, making sure we have fresh towels and, organizing and, tidying up our bed and wiping things down. And so
friendly.
Marvin,
when we see him in the hallway.
always saying hello. I've walked by some of the other stews on the other halls, and they'll nod and they'll say hi. But Marvin, he's awesome. So if you get a chance and you're on one of these cruise ships, try to connect with Marvin, because he's great, and he's got a TikTok channel too.
Yeah, he does, and a Facebook. He's awesome. So, Ty, what tips do you have for first-time cruisers? So I know you mentioned, dress light, wear comfortable walking shoes, but for somebody that's maybe planning and preparing for their very first cruise, are there maybe some tips and things that you've learned? Maybe some things you would also do next time?
Yeah, I think anytime I travel, I like to travel light, and so especially when traveling in Europe, I didn't do a check bag. I did a carry-on and a backpack, and with the ability to do laundry here, and the ability to get any soaps or deodorants or anything you could need either here on the boat or at any one of these ports, there's really no need to overpack.
Oh, great.
And so I like to pack light because one, there's multiple people who showed up on this boat and their luggage was not here.
Yes.
And so for me, you know, my luggage was with me the entire time, and I had no issues getting it from the port right onto the boat into my stateroom. Some people didn't get their luggages delivered until 11, 10 p.m. at night, just by the sheer amount of people they have on the boat and have to deliver. So I recommend, if you can, do a carry-on, walk on with it, walk off with it, so it's always with you. And then, like I said, you can do laundry. Yes, you might have to wait in line, but there's laundry everywhere, and you can get it done. So that would be my suggestion. Pack light. And,
yeah, pack light. Because the rooms, I mean, we have plenty of storage with, drawers and hanging space. I feel like there's plenty of storage, but the bathrooms are tight. There's not a lot of like shelf room or counter space. So the lighter you can pack, I just think it keeps the room less cluttered. So Ty, what's next on your travel list? Last question for you. So where are you headed next?
So we have Crete today, Mykonos tomorrow, and then we end this cruise in Athens. And then I'll be staying in Athens for 4 nights. At a small little boutique hotel right under the Acropolis, so we're going to be enjoying some land time in Athens.
So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. More Ty will be in a couple of additional videos, so thank you so much. Appreciate it, and hope to see you on a cruise one day. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. And if you want the real outtakes, follow me on Instagram, Tyler. What do I do with my hands?
Keep them down, and keep your coffee down, and look straight into the camera, and just pretend you're talking to a friend. Ty, come on, I'm trying to do this.
These are funny outtakes.
Okay, then no, they're not.
Yes.
Yeah, and then what about after this cruise? Do you have any other travel plans?
Nothing coming up.
You're not gonna head to Hawaii or go to...
Nope, because that's been canceled.
Okay.
So...
Are you headed to Tucson? Are you planning your next cruise to when I'm in Alaska?
I will be honest, unless it's going to come and visit you, this might be my last cruise.
No, don't. That's not how it is. Okay, cut.
I
Let's cut that.
will
That
prefer
bloopers.
land travel
So,
and an
some
all-inclusive
land in
resort
between.
over a cruise any day.
No,
The only time you're going to get me on another boat is to see my aunt.
Yes.
And that's it. I would not willfully ever pick a cruise.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay, can you
Cut.
not say that to my cruise? No, Ty will
You
be
asked me to
visiting
be honest.
He wants to go snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, or
No,
maybe
we're just
come
making
visit
up stuff now.
or maybe come visit Japan. Okay, so our outtake. So